Sometimes I think size, speed, quickness are a little overrated when it comes to the wide receiver position. Because when I look at the wide receiver position, to me, sometimes it's about your ability to get separation, your ability to run the right routes, the ability to get open, the ability to make the routine catches, sometimes the ability to make the tough catches, the ability to be that guy that a quarterback could rely on in a tough spot. And a guy like Jarvis Landry from LSU, to me, fits into that kind of mold. He's going to fall victim, I think, a little bit to overthink from NFL scouts and executives, where they're going to see in a class, again, of wide receivers that is really damn good and really damn deep, not only an elite talent at the top, but in the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh rounds. This is a really, really damn good wide receiver class. Maybe from top to bottom, the best wide receiver class that I've ever seen in my years of watching college football. But a guy like Jarvis Landry, again, because he lacks that great speed and he lacks that great initial quickness, is going to be somebody I think that falls through the cracks a little bit on draft day. And some people are going to be surprised as they watch the 2014 NFL draft and they're going to be like, why hasn't Jarvis Landry gone yet? Why hasn't he been drafted yet? What's going on here? How could you not see that this guy is a productive player at a big time school like an LSU in the toughest conference in America in the SEC? Now, part of the problem I think that hurts Jarvis Landry's draft stock a little bit is he played on the other side of a more spectacular, more explosive wide receiver in an Odell Beckham Jr. But what Odell Beckham Jr. has in terms of size, speed, quickness, and big playability, and I really like that, Jarvis Landry has in terms of consistency, in terms of the ability to get separation, in terms of the ability to run great consistent routes, the ability to get open, the ability to understand when to come back to the quarterback. To me, he demonstrates more of the pure wide receiver skills, where it's Odell Beckham Jr.'s athleticism that puts him over the top, so to speak. But when I look at a Jarvis Landry, he reminds me a little bit of somebody maybe like an Earl Bennett. I know some of you might sit there and say, well, that's not a tremendous comparison, and that may be true. But I see a guy that was a highly productive college player, but at the same point in time doesn't necessarily have that great size or that great speed or that great explosiveness and initial quickness that teams are going to value. And as a result, they won't view him as anything more than a third or fourth round prospect. Now, I look at Jarvis Landry and I view him as more of like a third round prospect. I see a guy that can play outside as a split end. I see a guy that can also line up in the slot and be a great possession receiver that every NFL quarterback wants in an offense. He's going to be a guy that I wouldn't be surprised, frankly, if he did drop all the way to the fourth round. But I also think he's going to be a guy that a lot of teams are going to regret that decision of passing on him in the second round or the third round to take guys with better size or better speed or better quickness, better explosiveness, better big playability. Because what Jarvis Landry lacks in those areas, he makes up for in so many other areas. He's a guy, I think, at the NFL level that is going to be able to get separation because of his ability to run great routes. And when you throw the ball to him, by and large, he's going to catch the football. And not only will he consistently make the routine catches, he will also make some of the tough catches in traffic, showing a willingness to go over the middle and not afraid to get hit. I really like Jarvis Landry. And, you know, it's one of these things that in another draft, in another wide receiver class, his stock would probably be a lot higher in my book. But it's not so much a knock on Jarvis Landry as it is, again, just a testament to the strength of this wide receiver class, the depth and overall talent in this wide receiver class, that I have Jarvis Landry as a third-round talent, similar to what an Earl Bennett was in 2008 coming out of Vanderbilt.